Getting paid is exciting until you realize how much of your paycheck is actually going to the IRS. I remember an old sitcom where one of the primary characters sees her first paycheck and she goes, "I'm so excited, I got her first paycheck." And then she looks at it and she says, "Who the heck is this FICA person that's taking all my money?" And yet most people just accept it. That's the last thing we hear about. That is a pretty funny line, but it's the last we ever hear about in the next 10 years of episodes on this sitcom. So what if I told you you don't have to accept it? It doesn't have to be that way. There are 4 simple moves that can reduce your taxes by 79% or more starting today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to rethink payday. Stop giving half your income to the government and start keeping more of what you earn. After all, rule number 1 in tax-free wealth is it's your money. So what's the most tax inefficient way to get paid? And why do most people default to it? It's very simple. It's because it's easy. That 4-letter word, it's easy. And it's a W-2. It's a paycheck. Now, there are all sorts of reasons. First of all, I personally don't like being told what to do. But second of all, if I get a paycheck, it means I only have one customer, and that's a very risky place to be. But the third reason, and the reason why I'm going to talk about now, it's also how you pay the highest taxes. Here's what's happened over the years. Originally, when the tax law was first created in 1913, only the very rich got taxed and only on a very small percentage. And only business owners got taxed. In fact, and business owners and investors, they were the only ones who get taxed. It wasn't actually until 1944 that wages were taxed at all. Now we've had a complete turnabout. Wages are taxed the highest, and business income and investing is taxed the lowest. It's been a literally 180-degree turnabout. So what do you do about that? Well, the first thing you do is you go, wait a minute, is there a way to continue my current engagement, my current relationship with my current employer, but it not be a W-2? That is the first question you should ask yourself. Can I just change that relationship? Can I become a contractor? There are a lot of businesses, my business being one of them, that a lot of business owners really love having independent contractors. Now, you have to truly be an independent contractor. You can't just, you need to be thinking about, wow, this is an opportunity. Not only can I reduce my taxes because now I can be an S corporation or C corporation or a limited partnership. Not only can I have a better type of income that I can earn, but I can actually earn more money because maybe I'm not relegated to just that one customer. Maybe I can now go get multiple customers, which, by the way, good for your income, good from a tax standpoint. All right, so what do we have to do here? We do actually need to pay attention to it. Now, if you can't get paid that way, then start a side hustle. Start a business. In every country I've ever been to, and I've been to 30 countries, I've been on stage in 30 countries. Every country I've ever been to, business is the most tax efficient way to make money. Think about it this way. Remember during the pandemic, everybody worked from home. Employees got no tax benefit for working from home. Business owners, however, got a deduction for their home office. That's what they got. Is there a better way? Well, most people do default to the most tax inefficient way to get paid, ordinary W-2 wages. And that's why the IRS actually loves employees. That's why employees get audited far less often than business owners. Just because, hey, I love the W-2 because there's nothing they can do. Paying the highest taxes with zero leverage. No deductions other than your 401k or IRA. That's about the best you can do. Meanwhile, people like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they don't earn like that. They use the tax code the way it was designed to reward entrepreneurs and investors. In my free webinar, I'll show you how to stop working for the IRS and start working for yourself legally. Click the link and reserve your spot now. Changing how you get paid is one of the fastest way to lower your taxes. So the first income shift we want to look at in order to lower your tax bracket is to shift from earned income to ordinary income. Earned income is subject to Social Security taxes. Ordinary income is not. Think about this. Retirement income, no Social Security taxes. It's not earned income. So what we want is we'd like less earned income, more ordinary income. That's a simple shift. The easiest shift is what I mentioned before. Easiest shift is let's change our relationship from an employee to an independent contractor. Okay, are there other shifts? Yeah, there are other shifts you can do. Could I shift, for example, there are other buckets of income that are taxed at different rates. Once I get to ordinary income, can I get to capital gain? Capital gain's half the rate of ordinary income. And then of course, ultimately what I want to get to is zero. That is non-taxed or tax-free income. For now, start with that one shift, and you might be able to reduce your employment taxes by 50% or more simply by shifting to an independent contractor status. That's all it takes. Now, the wealthy structure their income around tax incentives. Employees don't. So how do entrepreneurs and investors legally avoid payroll and employment taxes? Again, it's first of all, they're businesses. So they have options that you don't have as an employee. They have options you don't have. It's just in the law. And it doesn't matter if you're a big business, small business. Businesses have the same opportunities. That means you can be a one-person business. That's an independent contractor. Now, do you have to set it up all correctly? Absolutely. If you just change your income from a W-2 to a 1099, your employer agrees to do that. First of all, your employer is not very bright if they're willing to do it without you doing anything else. Why is that? Well, because you could always sue them and say, hey, you owe me this, this, and this. Or the IRS could come and say, hey, you owe employment tax, because they're really an employee. So you have to dot your I's and cross your T's. You need to sit down with your tax advisor and you need to walk through, how do I become an independent contractor? First and foremost, you need to set yourself up as a separate entity. That's most important. You've got to set it up as an entity. Now, it can be a limited liability company that's taxed as an S corporation. It can be a pure S corporation, can be a C corporation, can be a limited partnership. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and you should sit down with your tax advisor to talk with them and learn some of these nuances. You've got to dot your I's, you've got to cross your T's. Just remember that it's your choice. It's your choice whether you make the effort to reduce your taxes or you pay Uncle Sam and pay an enormous amount of your income over to the government. That's your choice. The whole purpose of my work is to give you a choice. Now, you might decide, I don't want to be that. That's fine. But recognize that you're making a choice, and that choice could have a major impact on your life. Could have a major impact on when you retire, if you retire, how well you retire. It can have a major impact on how well you live before you retire. Some of you may not want to retire. I don't. Well, but I'm living a lot better life because I'm not paying a lot of money to the government, right? This is true for every entrepreneur who understands these principles. When you know how to get paid the smart way, you've got to be a business owner. You absolutely have to be a business owner. And by the way, if you can't do it as an independent contractor for your current job, then start a side hustle. It's never been easier to start a business. Oh my heavens, I know so many people that have started multi-million-dollar businesses on their phone. It is the most powerful computer ever invented. Is the smartphone. The most powerful computer ever invented is the smartphone. And you have it in the palm of your hand. And I know you have one. Everybody has a smartphone. Okay, so use it. There's so many different businesses you can start. Find something you enjoy, something that you really want to do, something that maybe even that you're even passionate about. Because I find that the more you're interested in something, the more likely you'll be successful at it. I mean, seriously, I could all sorts of sports that maybe I could play, but I'm just not that interested in them. I mean, for example, soccer is just not a sport that I'm particularly interested in. A lot of you are interested in soccer. You know, I love swimming. I love baseball. There are certain things we're interested in. Guess what? We spend more time at it. So find something that you're interested in, start a business, but then start it the right way. Don't be a sole proprietor. Don't use that four-letter word, EASY, easy. Don't get sucked into that trap. And how about the other four-letter word, LAZY, lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't do the easy thing. Do the smart thing. And if you do it, you'll pay less tax, spend less time working for the government. And if this little video has opened your eyes a bit, you'll definitely want to check out the next video I made on how to pay zero in taxes using real estate. It's not a mistake they put into the law. It's not this little terrible secret. It's something the government actually wants you to do. It's very intentional. It's a way that the government wants you to build housing, build commercial buildings, build industrial. They want you to do this. It's a strategy that the wealthy use every single day. Click the video on the screen to learn just how to do it yourself.